Retention. Why should you care and how to get some? Retention is the same as compound interest for your SaaS product. You'll see a lot of companies spending more time and resources acquiring new users than retaining existing ones, effectively filling a leaky bucket. However, the only way a SaaS product can achieve sustainable exponential growth is through great retention. When a user retains, not only do you gain more revenue from them, they're also a lot more likely to refer your product to other people that they know, leaving you with viral growth without having to engineer it. And what does great retention look like? Is it monthly active users, weekly active users, or daily active users? Despite popular claims, I believe the right way to measure retention is by looking at natural usage frequency. This is different for different products. A product management tool like Jira would be looking at daily active users, but a corporate travel product should be looking at quarterly or yearly retention. Great retention is when the majority of your key user cohorts retain for their natural usage frequency. But retention is getting harder. The switching cost between different SaaS tools is in constant decline. The cost of product distribution is closing in on zero, making it really easy for new competitors to pop up and eat your lunch. At the time I recorded this video, there are 150,000 unique workplace SaaS products out there. There are also products like Segment, which makes data storage no longer a foolproof locking strategy. So how can you improve your product retention when it's so hard? I don't have the perfect answer, otherwise I'll be pretty rich. But better retaining products are simply better products. They hold attention the longest because they deliver more value over time. This means in order to improve retention, you have to make dramatic step changes in your product. So the following strategies I'll be recommending are sizable investments, not optimizations. 1. Deliver more value over time to your fanatics. Your product has to grow with the users. What made us successful today won't make us successful forever. Understand the workflow of your customers extremely well and identify points of exit in your product. This is when your user needs to incorporate a different tool or product in order to complete their jobs to be done. Ensure you can serve them within the UI of your product for specific jobs to be done. And this can be achieved via integration instead of building the feature yourself. This way, your user will never get an excuse to make that switch. 2. Convert fence sitters into fanatics. In order to retain more customers, you have to convert those who are not your biggest fans today. There are actually a research method called product market fit survey, popularized by Sean Elise. You can use it to identify who your fence sitter customers are and what's stopping them from turning into fanatics. Basically, ask them how disappointed they'd be if they can no longer use your product, and those who answer somewhat disappointed are your fence sitters. You then ask them what you can do to improve the product for them. 3. Go upmarket. Prosumers and small businesses tend to have higher churn simply due to the price sensitivity and business instability. When you move up into medium and large companies, the expense of a product becomes a much smaller cost relative to the switching cost of training new employees and data migration. 4. Segment. There's no such thing as overall retention. That's an output metric. You need to understand the levers. So segment your users into paid, unpaid, jobs to be done, and retention timeframes. I'll talk about the timeframes here because this is applicable to almost all SaaS businesses. Short-term retention. This is really about the time to value. How quickly did you wow your users and help them realize the key value proposition they care about in your product? Does your product require book a demo, or can the users just self-serve and try it out? Midterm retention. This depends on if the core value of your product is solving a valuable and repeatable problem. For example, your product is a logo generator, and those who use it are super happy with it, but they don't come back at all, because how often do you really need a brand new logo? But if you added website subscription to your line of products, as an example, all of a sudden you have a viable SaaS business. Long-term retention can be improved by adding value over time, which is what I mentioned earlier. Your product needs to grow with the maturity of your end users, or they'll outgrow your product and graduate into a competitor. And that, my friend, is your worst nightmare. 5. If you can, become the source of record or market maker in your niche. Intercom, Segment, Atlassian, Shopify, you name it, all the most successful SaaS platforms do this to ensure they become the center of the universe. They control the distribution channels, so they have enough bargaining power to make other SaaS businesses help extend their product and keep their customers around longer. In summary, retention is super important. It's compound interest for a startup, but it's also super hard because it's getting easier to launch competing products. In order to improve retention, you have to serve your biggest fans better by growing with their needs. Turn fence sitters into fanatics and keep converting more of them through product improvements. Go upmarket where switching cost is higher and volatility is lower. Segment your retention cohort into timeframes and other factors. Tackle each of them differently. Become the center of the universe for your niche and get other businesses to extend your product for you, and then achieve world domination.